Hey there. Today we're going to try taking on a pattern, and I'm going to demonstrate a different kind of way of being able to start on a pattern in case you're not familiar with it. It's pattern number 31864 on friendshipbracelets.net. So let's get at it. Roll that intro. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL, and today we're going to work on a relatively easy pattern. What gives that away? Look how short the instructions are for this. It just repeats itself over and over and over. And I get to address a few things in this video which I'm really looking forward to. One of those is everybody says that when you start off, let me just add a layer to this. New layer, okay. This way I can kind of draw over it. We'll use a pencil. Everybody says, oh, if you want to start, just like cross out an area and then go from there. And I guess that kind of works, right? I mean, it's going to have the diamond, it's going to do whatever. But there's another way of doing this, and I'm going to show you how we do that here in just a moment. First, let me copy the design. Sorry, that's in fixed. Let me copy the design so we can take that over to my template I've created. Control C. And here we have this. Control V. Obviously it's super teeny tiny. Let's rotate it by 90 degrees. And then let's scale it by a whole bunch. That's good. Alright, and then we can use the move tool and drag it over here. And we can now anchor the layer. So now it's not going to move around on us. Alright, so again, you know that there's that ability, but see how this black is on the outside? You know I'm not going to use the black, right? So let's pick a color to represent black. We'll use this nice dark blue. If we start off, okay. If we start off with that, it goes to the outside. In the pattern, it just shows it just stays on the outside, right? So it just keeps doing this. But this, by just simply adding in the dark color coming in like that, first off, we end up with a nice cleaner start on the bracelet. It just aligns the knots perfectly. Mind you, it's not so bad when you come in here, but then the black just sort of pops in out of nowhere. There's no whatever. I don't know. This just makes so much more sense to me. Now we'll go ahead and we'll copy this lighter blue and we'll make that the diamond that's inside. See, now we've already gotten two diamonds in there. This color, let's take that and just kind of darken it up a bit. It's too close to white for my liking. Alright, so then we have this color inside of that, and then we have this green inside of there. Now, remember I said there was something else I was going to show you? There is, in this design, I don't know why they did it, they put in two greens, right? I'm going to demonstrate why that seems really, really silly, because if I were designing this myself, right, I would have not used white here, obviously, and maybe put in a white string to represent the one that never ever gets used. Because that's right, in that pattern they show those colors, but one of the colors doesn't get used. If I was going to have a color that didn't get used, I would possibly put it somewhere where I could exchange it with a color that's getting used a whole bunch, right? Like that dark color on the outside, that gets used an awful lot. Why not make it it be that color, right? I mean, just something. Okay, so let's see. There's those colors, and here's the green. And the green comes out. So I'm putting in all the underlying strings so you can see this for yourselves. Because when I looked at the pattern, I was just like, wait, something's wrong here. The other color is this purpley kind of color. It comes down like that. 1, 2, 3, 1 in, 1 back out, 2, 3. Okay. This green comes down, it comes in like this. We can bounce it back this way. Perfect. This blue does an extra little thing right there, which is sort of cute before going into its diamond again. These little diamond things in here, I think they're cute. I think it's, you know, it adds a little bit of interest in the bracelet where you might not have it otherwise, but they do take out some of the momentum of tying the knots. Normally, if you just have a diamond right after a diamond, it's a bit easier. But okay. Where are we gonna put this purple from? I guess we can go up here with it. Seeing as how that works out fine. And then this blue is still continuing along, just doing its blue thing. And add in this green. And this, I'm going to assume that color is going to be white. I don't know what we'll make this in. Maybe I'll find some kind of interesting color combo that I like. Actually, this might actually look good with some fluorescence in there, really popping out one of the colors somewhere. And then the green, you can see the green comes back in. This color here can come out. I wanted to put a couple of these in to demonstrate exactly what I was talking about. Like, there is no reason for one of the colors. And it seems to me that if the designers really kind of knew what they were doing, they would use one color to represent a string that's not necessary. That's just my take on the designing. I don't know who came up with the pattern. I don't know why they didn't bother to do it. I suppose I shouldn't call people out on it. Maybe they didn't realize, or maybe they were just trying to do it in a hurry. I don't know. But see, there is. Wait, where's this one? Okay. Whoops. Nope, I did this wrong. Control Z, Control Z. This goes here. This goes that way. Alright. But see how this string over here, it doesn't connect? It doesn't have a color. It doesn't need, but it just needs to be a string so that way you can have a color going through there, but it's not associated to the pattern at all. And Again, I'm not trying to call out the maker of the pattern. You know, I realize now that you guys can actually look up who did it. But I think there should be like a standard of where anytime you don't use a color, there should be something for it. You know, use white or something just to represent a string that never gets used. So I think I'm going to put in one more diamond, and then we're just going to get creative for the center of this because it has that possibility, and maybe we can introduce a new color that will make that center even more amazing. So let's just do one more diamond on this. See how far that takes us down. Again, we could just make the whole bracelet just exactly like this, and you could, you know, obviously use how I started this as a nice, really clean start for it. But if I didn't go and try to make this something completely different, it just wouldn't be one of my videos, would it? I mean, that's partly why you guys come and check it out. Alright, and the green comes in here. Yeah. And then, for the purpose of trying to see what we have to work with, we'll get all the other strings to their end position here. And I feel like this light blue is used an awful lot. Maybe we give it a rest. Right? I mean, that kind of... So the pink goes down here like that. The green is in, so this is our odd string. Do I have that symmetrically? Yes, I do. Alright, so odd string. Let's give it a color. Let's go with that bright orange. Doesn't have to be orange, doesn't have to be anything. We just need something to represent it. Let's go ahead and put it into place. Maybe this is the fluorescent color. That would be kind of cool, right? Have it just show up only in the center area. Also, the dark blue gets used an awful lot. It's only doing like a little single knot on the edge, but it does it every single row, so maybe we do. Well, I kind of feel like maybe that's going to be the ticket for really making the center do come alive. So this is green, and this is the white. How much space we got? We got a good ways. Alright, let's go and bring the dark blue to the center. And then let's make it do something interesting. Yeah, we can fit these little diamonds here together. And then, look at this, this orange comes through right here. Now, slightly wondering Yeah, let's do this. The orange comes through the center of the first diamond, and then it goes out around the second. That's pretty neat. That works out. So then this kind of lavendery color can go and still do its cool lavendery shape thing, except for it's going to be like more pronounced out to the outside. There's going to be an interesting thing that happens when this repeats, right? Because you're going to end up with 4 of these diamonds. But that should be pretty cool. And then, oh, look at this. You know how the green was going with this up here? It can still do it down there. All right. So we have a little something remaining consistent with our new design, while still making it interesting. Alright, let's see where this goes. Alright, so the white doesn't go anywhere near the center. Oh, it's the light blue. Ah. So we're just kind of tracing through what's kind of left. That's why this ends up where it ends up. And then this blue here ends up being what's in the center of the diamond. That is very, very cool. Alright, so we have all the colors in. Whoops, missed one there. Just double check to make sure that I have all the pieces, and I do. Alright, so now I use the select tool. Whoops, zoom out a bit. And get it to lock onto that center line. Control C, Control V, and then we use the flip. When we flip this vertically, we use the move tool and get that to lock onto place right there. Use the arrow key to shift that over just a bit. Once it's all aligned, we simply anchor the layer. And there we have the whole pattern. So you have 3 diamonds in the front part. You've got these 3 diamonds. 1, 2, 3, 4 diamonds. 4 diamonds right through the middle part here, and then 3 more there. The purple green thing do an interesting bit. You get this orange that comes out of nowhere. It's doing something interesting. Another interesting way you could do this is if you brought the orange out this way. Alright, I'm going to save this as version 1. And then I'm going to take apart some of this middle area here because I think it'll look cool. Let's there, we still have that. Alright. So paint tool. So what I did was I Control Z, backed up a few. I'm just going to alter this area right here. because I just realized this will look kind of neat as well. So I'm going to give you options. Alright. This color was right there. Oh, let's ended up hitting the wrong thing. That and that. This goes there. Let's bring the pink in this way. Oh, purplish pink, whatever that is. And then take the green and come here. Because then this will do its V shape like it should. And that color goes in there. Alright, so one little tweak and we'll have a whole new thing here. So let's go back to the select tool. This is what I love about being able to generate patterns like this is Control-C, Control-V, is the fact that you can a little tweak and you end up with something that just feels completely different. Okay, whoops. Zoom in a bit. Get these to line up. Not quite, right? And layer, anchor layer. And look at that. Now we end up with a great big diamond in the center. We have more of what was kind of going on with the pinkish and the green. See how that just turns into like a little speck, kind of like one of these inside of this much bigger diamond. That looks really cool. I think this is probably the version I'm going to end up making, just because it looks pretty neat. Didn't get colored quite right. There we go. Where's it up here? There it is. Why is it painting so weird in there? Alright. Okay, so there we have it. That is our bracelet design for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you had fun. I certainly did. I think the fluorescent color, I think I'm actually going to go with that. I think I might actually change what the other colors are. But it's a 6-color, 12-string bracelet. Should be really easy to build. Yeah, it uses some zigzag knots, but not over the top amount of them or anything. So yeah. Alright, thank you much for watching this far. If you haven't already liked this this video, leave a comment, do all that good stuff, and yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.